It's actually kind of a morbid story, but there's a guy that actually like murdered his wife.
Oh my God.
But so as an alibi, he pre-recorded like 6 hours of footage and then ran it live.
Oh shit.
And he was like, "Sorry guys, I can't see your comments if you're typing to me. My internet is not working great."
Wow.
The entire time this was going live, he was
holy shit.
butchering his ex-wife.
Is this recent?
Something. No, this is I don't remember how.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look this up.
This was like one of them true crime things I was listening to when I was at work one day. But it's funny that you mentioned that. That just made me think of that. Really morbid segue. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna jot that down.
Yeah.
If you're a geek, have a listen. We got the news. This week's edition. Talking movies, games, TV, and comics. Turn it up. Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks pod. Feel the Geeks. You're listening to the Feel the Geeks podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 202 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
How's it going?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Victor Freeze paid us a visit yesterday here in
Yeah.
Des Moines metro area in Iowa. So
Yeah.
I don't know, everyone out there has gotten a big gust of snow lately, but I thought it was beautiful. I like snow. A lot of people right now are tired of it. I am a little bit. I don't like when it gets really frigid. Yeah. It gets really cold. Yeah, I don't like that. But an ice. I don't like ice.
Yeah, let's say it looked pretty for about 5 seconds. Then I went out to clear out my car and realized it wasn't like light, fluffy snow. It was like heavy,
Good snowman
frozen
snow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
But-
make some snowmen on top of your car. Yeah.
But seriously, we're in March. Get your shit together.
Mother Nature.
God, Mother Nature. What's wrong with you?
How's that go in Tropic Thunder? Mother Nature just shit her pantsuit? Something like that?
Mother Nature just pissed her pantsuit.
That was that it? Yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that movie forever. Gosh.
man.
And, you know, I'm happy that, and I'm not trying to get all, like, political. It shouldn't be political, but I'm happy Stiller is not apologizing. Did you see that headline?
Yeah, I
about
did.
that? I'm happy. Like, you know what? Look at Mel Brooks in his time. Like,
Well,
some shit. It's crazy.
there was even I saw like not to get off on a tangent here, but I even saw
what we
like
do best, though.
Yeah, exactly. I even saw this this black actress that was talking about it, and she was like, "You know what? This doesn't offend me because it's not like you're not doing the blackface with the big lips and
Yeah.
making it a parody kind of thing like they did back in the day.
Yeah.
It's a parody of people that go to extreme lengths for method acting, and that's exactly what it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a stretch to say that at all because, yeah, they treated it like it is ridiculous. They acknowledge that. I mean, they even have a black cast member who was like, on his ass the whole movie about
Exactly.
it. Yeah, and
Exactly.
now if you didn't have that, and yeah, that would be an issue probably, but still.
Well, yeah.
But I'm glad, don't all these creative types now are just like, I'm so sorry for this and that, and it's like, okay, for one, that was a different time. Two, shut up.
Yeah. Just let it be,
Yeah. I don't know.
We're so worried about offending people now, and it sucks.
I know. But yeah, the weather brought that out of us. So blame the weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder. Oh yeah, Mother Nature. Yes. I'm like, how did we get here?
Blame Mother Nature for Tropic Thunder.
Exactly. Want to remind everyone out there, of course, to please like and subscribe. We are almost to 100 subs on YouTube, so that's huge. So please keep it coming. Share with your friends, family, complete strangers. Just maybe just shout in their ear and then run off. Protect yourself. So.
I will send 5 business cards out to every one subscriber, so then you can give those 5 business cards out to 5 more people.
Yes.
It's like a pyramid scheme. Never mind. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll laminate them to death so they're like Chinese stars.
Yeah, you just
or ninja stars. Sorry, I don't know if that's
put it in somebody's tire when you're driving down the street.
Hey, we got our first
Field of
negative
Geeks says
reviews.
hi.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we're pretty much everywhere.
Don't do that.
You find your podcast. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the support, everybody. That's
absolutely
amazing.
Yes. Keep it coming, and we'll keep bringing you more and more content, even original content. We'll get there, right? It's in the playbook.
It's in the works.
If there is a playbook, it's in there somewhere. Chapter 10. I don't know.
Here's the playbook.
Yes,
As you can
isn't
see,
that
it's
beautiful?
completely blank.
Yeah. Well, it's coded. This is spy shit. So you have to have special
you have
goggles
to have,
to read it, and yeah.
It's like National Treasure.
I like that
You have to
idea,
have,
by
like,
the way. I
glasses.
took a glance at that page.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great,
Man.
Icebreaker topic to get us, freshened up for the other topics we have today. Rogan, Seth Rogen, that is, not Joe Rogan, versus negative reviews. Imagine if Joe Rogan was going off.
I don't think he's got much to worry about. I mean, he's still not canceled.
No.
Anyway, but yeah, Seth Rogen was complaining about all the, like, I don't know if complaining is the right word, but talking about like negative reviews, how they like,
Yeah. Like the headline is, it's a headline, right? So he was just having a nonchalant conversation on a podcast called Diary of a CEO. And so he's just, talking about the shortcomings of Green Hornet in the interview, which I liked the interview. Did you like it?
interview was good
Yeah.
for what it was. I think I don't know if I ever would have watched it if it wasn't for the controversy behind it.
Right. Which
So that
was
kind of like
Sony's,
sucked me in. It was like the Sony leaks, like
Yes. North Korea was like,
North
we're
Korea
going
was
to,
like, we're gonna.
which we don't really know if that was a legit threat or not.
I don't know.
Probably not.
You never know. It could just be one North Korean dude sitting in his mom's basement typing this shit out. But I highly doubt that Kim Jong Un or Kim Jong Il, whatever his name is,
Right.
would have like assassinated Seth Rogen for this movie. But
Although that performance, God, the name of the actor escapes me right now, but man, he did a great job.
he did do a good job. I mean, everybody involved with it did a pretty fantastic job with it. It was
Right.
it was a fun movie.
I thought it was fine, yeah. They hate us because they ain't us. That was a nice little quote. But yeah, Rogan, he was saying, if most critics knew how much it hurt the people that made the things that they are writing about, they would second guess the way they write these things. It's devastating. I know people who never recover from it. It's very personal. Being told your personal expression was bad, it effing sucks. I don't know what effing is, but that's a joke. So I know what effing is. Hell yeah, I know. I got 3 kids. I'm sorry.
3 daughters. You should
Yeah,
know.
right.
Effing
Yeah.
yes.
So basically, it's the rooting for failure, which I understand to a certain point, right? I mean,
I can. You know what? I can.
not wrong.
I can kind of see where he's coming from on
Yeah.
this, because with and granted, you should form your own opinion on any form of media, whether it's movies, video games, whatever, TV shows. But so many times there's people going on to like Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic and just review bombing something that they don't, whatever.
They didn't even watch.
They probably aren't even going to watch, and they
Read
probably
the
are
cliff
just
notes on it or
they're
something.
critical of it because of whoever's in it or whatever the trailer shows. And granted, I mean, there's some like Green Hornet. I thought was a shitty fucking movie. I'm sorry.
Right. Over time, it hasn't grown too fond on me, but at the time, I was like, okay, I like Green Hornet.
It was like being a fan of, and this is going to date me, but being a fan of like the Green Hornet TV series, with like Bruce Lee being Kato and stuff like that. Like, it's hard to top that, but then you put somebody in there with like Seth Rogen, who's like this big goofy guy who's like, we'll call it the Green Bee. Like, come on, guys.
You got the Edward Norton cameo though in the meth house. That was funny, right? No,
whatever.
No, it wasn't. The other problem is it was already a big ask, I think, to have Rogen as the hero, and then the guy that got to play Kato, I thought was great. I thought he did a good job. That's the first time I ever saw that leaf effect in coffee, and now everyone does it. They even do faces and shit. But he was like, it wasn't grounded enough. Like a lot of it was really, fiction. What Kato could do everything, and I don't think that was really. He could, I guess, in the original series, but it was realistic. He could fight good. That's about it. He couldn't flick a pop cap just right, so it would go into the, just like these little things. And then the car was able to do all these James Bond things. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, come on. But
I mean,
yeah.
I will say this, like, it would suck, you know, we see, like, when we look at a movie, we see the actor, we see the director, we see, you know, the lighting effects and stuff like that. We don't, you know, just look at, I know we all sit through credits to see if there's anything cool at the end of them, but just look at the sheer scope of people that work on a movie now.
Yeah.
And
man.
yeah, if you poured your heart and soul into this, like, even if you were just the caterer, you know,
Right.
and the movie just gets completely shit on by
Yeah.
people who are
Right.
being overly critical of it. Like, you don't have to, not everything has to be, you know, Martin Scorsese
Right. Right.
quality.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I mean, it's a comic book film.
Right.
For
And
one
I
thing,
think
but
criticism at its best keeps you in check as an artist. Like if you they might see something
yeah.
in you don't see yet. Like, oh shit, maybe I am kind of just riding this train. I'm not being original anymore, you know. And you have a lot of yes people around you. I think when you're that high up, you know, you know, like Rogan, he's got a lot of yes people. I'm sure of it. You know?
Oh, I'm sure he does. That's
Yeah.
why he keeps getting work. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I do like, as an actor, I'm not a big fan of Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
But some of the things that he's been involved with, like, you know, Invincible, The Boys,
yep.
like those kind of things, I think, like, more of a behind the scenes kind of thing is a better fit for him.
Good
And,
writer,
like,
I think. He's
yeah,
proven
and
that.
the
Superbad.
Steve Jobs movie, I thought he was good in that.
Yeah.
When he's not being a goofy, you know, caricature of himself, he's
Right.
pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, I can see where, like, if you said, if you just full stop were like, this movie sucks, don't go watch it, and you didn't elaborate any further,
Yes.
that's kind of a shot in the gut to everybody that worked on it.
Right.
If you know, elaborate why you think the movie sucks, don't just review bomb it for no reason.
Exactly. Don't
You
get on
know,
the
like-
hate train.
Yeah.
You know, like actually see it for yourself. And
Yeah.
that also hurts from like a fan's perspective, like when you feel like something hasn't been judged fairly. Like for instance, I've said this many times ad nauseum, apologies. BVS, I think, got just hate watched by a lot of people, and it wasn't fair. And that's happened with other things too. Especially, yeah, it's very easy to get on a hate train about anybody. Jennifer Lawrence, for instance, you know, she's kind of gotten too big for her britches, but yet she's got this new movie coming out. I really didn't want to see the trailer. I'm kind of done with her, but I will say it looks pretty good. And I'm not saying she's not talented, but you just, I think, and another thing is when they talk a lot in public outside of their parts, sometimes they say a lot of stupid shit and it's really annoying, and it kind of comes off like, you know, they're better than you.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. So it's like,
That's kind of the thing. Like, if you, like with Seth Rogen, you look at like some of the dumb shit he says on Twitter,
yeah,
you know, or
he's
like
been
just
nasty too. I mean,
just some of the, like, the completely off the wall, like, out of touch shit that he says.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
We're all hypocrites. And so, yeah, I mean, he's criticized the Oscars. Think of all the creative people who go into the Oscars trying to make a good show. And it's like,
yeah.
it's good to say what he's saying, but also I think you should always acknowledge, like, I myself am a hypocrite, you know. I'll go against what
I'll
I'm
be the
saying.
first. I'll be the first one to admit this. Like, not every. I'm bad about this too, but like, not every thought that tiptoes past your gray matter needs to be put on the internet for all to see.
Yeah. Right.
So-
you used to actually have to write it up, right? Typewriter,
well,
like, I messed
know.
up.
I mean,
out.
I think there's. That's
So
why I
easy
like
now.
like what we do with our reviews for like MCU movies, for
Yeah.
example, is we're like, I like this. This wasn't so great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still, you know, it's still a good movie or something.
Right.
Like, if
yeah.
the movie's just complete dog shit, then
Yeah.
okay, tell me what you didn't like about it that made it complete dog shit.
Right,
Don't just say, oh, well, everybody that worked on this crew is a piece of shit and they should go hang themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
yeah.
think that's what anybody's saying with like a
No.
bad review.
But some have, you know, and of course those people really should adjust. I would say, you
that's
know,
why you don't listen to the tomato meter, because they're
Yes,
all written by
that too.
idiots.
well, and that's what did it for me with them, was with the BVS. They had a show. I don't know if they still do, but they had two critics on there. They were laughing. They were enjoying shitting on BVS. And I'm like, that's so like not cool with me. Like, I just didn't like it, and so after that, I'm like, screw these guys. So
yeah, it's one thing if you're doing that with like The Room.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a movie that's made to be
right.
bad.
Well, like, you know,
like so bad it's good kind of thing. But
exactly. Like, yeah, it's the Marvel films, or DC films even, they're not always completely bad in my opinion. They're on a different tier level. So like, you know, is it changing the curve or whatever, or however you say it? You know, no. But is it entertaining? Yes, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're comparing it to these other films, is it really trying to be those other films for one?
no, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I think The Rock was really trying to make Black Adam like, you know, this is the shit. And I think it was just too much. It got so saturated. And in the end, it was just an okay film. It was just okay. Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it was okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I get what Rogen's saying. I totally get it. But yeah, of course, when I first read the headline, my eyes rolled. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Do you know what industry you're in?
Yeah. You've got to expect some.
Yeah. And he said Marvel
criticism.
films are for kids. So he's insulting. I mean, I'm just saying we're all hypocrites, right? But it's not to say shouldn't take in what he said about, you know, and I can't imagine what it's like to be reviewed heavily. That's got to be a mindfuck.
Yeah.
Like he said, some people never get over it, and I don't think I could get over it. I think it would really, I don't know. We have not been tested yet with that, and I'm not asking to be tested, so please don't. But you know,
Everybody review us down in the
right?
comments.
I mean, we risk when we put things out, but you know, we're not trying to. Yeah, I it's a risk. That's the whole.
Yes.
That's the whole thing about it. You should
You
never
gotta
go
take
in thinking everyone's gonna love me. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad.
Right,
It's just
right.
just the way it is.
Exactly. So, moving on. Sherlock Holmes 3 is kind of in the headlines again a little bit, just because Guy Ritchie, I think he was promoting his recent film, which I didn't put down on my notes. That's great. He wrote it. He didn't direct it, but I love Guy Ritchie. I don't know how you feel about his work. Okay.
I like his work.
And did you like the first Sherlock films he did?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So yeah, this is it's been since 2011 since we had the last Sherlock film, which is crazy because after that last one, I was like, let's go, let's do more. And of course, you know, RDJ was doing his Marvel stuff, and he just signed. I think he just signed a massive contract, so it pretty much kept him busy. He couldn't do anything else but like bit parts. He was in Chef with Jon Favreau, but it was really short appearance. So I guess for a while now, they've been kind of developing this third film a little bit. Guy Ritchie backed away. Robert Downey Jr., I guess, wanted to have 100% responsibility with the project, and it seems like Ritchie was willing to let him do that so he could do his own stuff. There was another director, I think, assigned to do the show, the movie, which I always hate in the third film in a series, and they change directors.
Yeah.
It works sometimes, but it's rare, and I don't like it because losing Guy Ritchie, I think you're going to lose a lot of that, what worked for those Sherlock films, for me anyway. I love the camera techniques he used, and Ritchie is like really good with like wardrobe and stuff. Like he dresses pretty fancy himself, so like he's
pretty meticulous with his with his movies. So, and
him and RDJ, you know, they shared a similar fighting style, and so they exploited that in the films, which was great, I thought. So yeah, losing. I wish they would wait for Ritchie to do the third film. I don't know if that's going to happen, but basically Ritchie was interviewed, you know, for his recent project, and he said that it's basically the ball's in his court.
Yeah.
So, and right now he's got no Marvel projects that we know of, right?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., that is. So, I don't know. I do want a third film. I still do, but yeah, I really want the Ritchie touch.
I want them to take their time with it.
Yeah.
And,
right.
you know,
Craft
don't just rush it out just for the sake of
Yeah.
ticket sales.
Right.
You know.
And I think they, you know, to their credit, that's kind of been it. Maybe they just haven't found the right idea. That's the other thing. RDJ's in charge of the script, everything. Not like he's going to write it, but he's going to, you know, hire the people to write it and so on. So hopefully him and Ritchie can collaborate again and make us a third film. Who knows? Things change so quickly all the time. So it could start happening between this show and the next show.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I hope so. And of course, we're out of COVID now for the most part, I would say. So that could easily pick up as long as Ritchie doesn't have anything else going on.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I love him, and I love both those guys. So, and I think they did some. And even if we just get those 2 films, I'm okay with it. I guess. I mean, they're pretty.
I
had a good ending. I think
I would love a third one.
Yeah.
But it's by no means is it like, oh man, I'm gonna shout from the rooftops if I don't get one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Yeah. No, we were lucky enough to get 2, and I think that second one really amped things up.
yeah.
Moriarty, you got Moriarty. That was great, and how they left it open for a sequel or not, it was handled very well. Of course, the I don't know her name, but the actress who played Watson's wife is pretty popular now. She's on Yellowstone, so I wonder if that would add to the budget a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
she's not just we don't know who she is exactly. So she's Beth. I don't know. I don't watch Yellowstone, but I know her name's Beth, and she's beautiful. I didn't say that, did I? Yes. So yeah, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving is finally going to become a film. This was the fake trailer off of a Grindhouse. It was the '07 double feature Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino put out. Which did you catch that in the theater at the time, or were you a fan of it?
I didn't catch it in the theater. I did. I think I saw it pretty soon after it came out on like Blu-ray, DVD, whatever. But I was a huge fan of it.
Yeah,
I liked it. It worked on a lot of different levels, I thought, and just tremendous amount of cast and just passion that went into it. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, we also got Machete from this
2 of
previously. Yeah. Weren't we also supposed to get like
3 or
Nazi werewolves or whatever?
Oh, that's right. They had other fake trailers.
That, like, I know there was one that Rob Zombie was doing, and I think he was going to do that. I can't remember what. It was like werewolf Nazi zombie hookers or something.
I remember a little bit about it now. Yeah, that was a great project, and I think a lot of critics and people expected like Oscar caliber maybe, but I love what they were going for. They were going for a 70s type of feel, and then they had all these other directors make their own trailers to fake films, which was it was kind of like a neat, like, we'll see if there's anyone interested in this. I think Thanksgiving might have been, well, of course Machete, but Thanksgiving was definitely one of my favorites. And I was like, do that film. Like, that looks fun.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if this is successful enough, it should be. I can't imagine the budget being huge, right?
I can't imagine either.
But if it's successful, yeah, we could get these other films. I mean, Rob Zombie, he did The Munsters, right?
Yeah.
He's not really doing anything else. So maybe.
I mean,
it might help his career a little bit. I don't know. His filmmaking career, that is. I think he's doing pretty good musically, right? I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of his music. A little crazy. But so Thanksgiving is going to star, right now they got a few stars attached. I'll probably butcher this, Milo Mayhem. He's from Disney's Zombies. So this is his how you say, Miley Cyrus essence, where he's going to probably go full adult mode. He's probably going to have a sex scene, all this shit. I don't know. I'm guessing. But he's going to be one of the stars. And, of course, Patrick Dempsey, McDreamy, Grey's Anatomy. That's his character.
I never really got into Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, yeah, he's got the box set. Come on. I saw that in the notes, by the way. Like, watch Grey's tonight. Yeah. That shouldn't be in the Field of Geeks show notes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, so we got a few stars attached, and yeah, it's going to be shooting very soon. Actually, this month it starts shooting.
Really?
So yeah,
wow,
pretty cool. So yeah, they have a few CW stars, which I'm like, but they're probably cheap, and they want to like. And they'll probably be great. Who knows? I mean, a lot of them have come out of that CW stuff. And of course, Eli Roth's going to direct, which that has to be like, duh, right? Yeah. Give it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's done The Green Inferno, which is like a cult favorite, I think.
That was a really good movie.
Yeah. I think this is the same film. I don't know how it was brought up, but apparently when they were filming it, I think a Christian group came by. Did you hear about this at all? When they were filming it,
I don't think so.
So they dressed up all these tribe people, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I think he said a Christian group came and were scared off by what they saw because they had like blood and just all this craziness and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have not seen that film. I have seen, and this was more of a mainstream one he did, The House with the Clock in the Walls. I like that one. Jack Black, Kate Blanchett. That was a good film, and yeah, he can definitely do family. I mean, it was a little dark in spots, but I don't know if it was a PG-13. It might have been.
I think.
I liked it. It was beautifully shot, I thought. It looked great, so I don't know if you'll have that budget for this film, but it doesn't need to be that. It doesn't need to look that. It can look grainy. It can, give it the 70s look, just like they did before with the trailer.
And even if you were to like go with Blumhouse or something like that.
Yeah, Spyglass Media looks like it's putting it out, but yeah, Blumhouse would have been great too.
Well, Spyglass does good stuff, and I don't think this is going to be like a, economy breaking budget by any means.
No, and it shouldn't, because I mean it's just, you're not going to get that.
I think the more minimalist you go with it, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, guerrilla filmmaking maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, if you don't know, the original film, or the trailer to the film anyway, basically a killer comes to town around Thanksgiving time and kills everyone in a funny way. So and there's a nice turkey stuffed at the end. It's maybe not a turkey entirely. So that was so interesting. Oh my gosh.
There was so many people that were like coming to them.
Yeah.
They were like, dude, let me do a trailer. That would be so much fun. And the thing that was great about it is they all just like had so much fun doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And just for like there to be 30 seconds of it up on the screen. And they filmed like hours worth of footage for this stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a big labor of love, because they all were like had the power to do what they wanted to do. And Tarantino, I think, still dogs that Death Proof film, which I thought was great for what it was. You know, I don't really, I guess you can count it as one of Tarantino's films, but I mean, it was, I think weren't each film like an hour, or maybe, were they full length? Maybe they were.
Yeah, they were like a hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
I saw it in the theater. I don't remember intermission or anything.
Yeah,
maybe there was, but I had a great time. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, and Death Proof had great car chase scenes. It was amazing.
Yeah,
so, and yeah, Planet Terror was just a fun fest, basically, just craziness. And like you mentioned before we started recording, I didn't know Rose McGowan actually had a life-changing injury from that film.
Injured her arm, or had to get like a piece of her elbow removed or something like that.
That's dedication.
So yeah, like she won't be doing anything, action heavy,
right?
Ever, or like she could literally end her career.
God, that stinks.
So yeah,
that had to be really, man. Those poses, thinking back, like, that was not easy what she did.
Yeah.
And it was a big ask, honestly, in the film. But come on, it was just that craziness. Like, just strap a gun onto your leg.
Just like,
it was cool looking.
It was just such a far-fetched way to handle everything, but it was so much fun.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the Barbecue Brothers. It was Michael Biehn. He was like, were they both dying? He's like, what's the recipe for that?
Yeah.
You get a little bit of this. I just like how the cook guy, his line, I always recite to myself. I don't know why, but he always recites to the zombie in his cafe or his restaurant. He's like, "You gonna stand there, or you gonna eat?" Something like that. I was like, I just love how he said that.
Yeah,
it's so cool. But yeah, that was good. Thanksgiving it looks fun, and I would love to see more holiday themed horror films. I know there's Silent Night for Christmas, which Krampus was kind of a return to that form, but
you have
they can
like
totally redo Silent Night films.
You have like Black Christmas. You have Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg, which was just a fun movie.
Yeah.
We
Black
had
Christmas an old one, very old one.
They've remade it like twice now. I think.
Okay, but the originally
it was like 1960s.
Okay, yeah.
And there was one they remade in the 90s, and then like in the 2000s there was another more recent one, I think. It had like Michelle Trachtenberg and some other people in it. Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I love that.
You could do
Table is set.
Evil Easter Bunny. It'd be like the little rabbit from Monty Python. Holy
Yes.
Grail.
Yep.
Just like,
Jane and Silent Bob cameo where they beat up the Easter Bunny.
yeah.
Mallrats.
You know what? There is no Easter Bunny. Over there, that's just a guy in a suit. Like, comes up behind him with a cleaver. Like,
That's a sailboat. Yes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I'm a big Turtles fan. I assume you
yeah.
are. Yeah. Yeah.
Very big Turtles fan.
So this is the Seth Rogen produced film. I think we did mention it before. Obviously, we have a trailer now. This is put out by Paramount and Nickelodeon. Yeah, it's got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animation style. And it's just from the looks of it, it looks like it's honoring old and new looks. And of course, you got a big cast here. I might miss some of these cast members, but Jackie Chan as Splinter, Seth Rogen as Bebop, John Cena as Rocksteady, Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman, Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. This comes out August 8th. What are your thoughts on the trailer?
I will say this. I like that they're bringing in so many mutant characters from like the show and the comics and stuff
Toy
like
line,
that.
even
Yeah.
probably you could say.
Like, I looked at the cast list. I was like, wait, you mean they're not just gonna fight Shredder? Like that's fucking
What?
awesome. I like the fact that they actually look like teenagers.
Yes.
You know, like Michelangelo has braces. Donnie has like the big
Glasses.
birth control glasses.
Yeah.
I do like that aspect of it because, you know, even in the 90s, like the live action one, like you can't tell me they look like teenagers. But I mean, like what's a teenage
Right.
turtle supposed to look like, I guess. But aside from that, I'll still go see it, but it looks fucking stupid.
Does it?
It looks so fucking stupid.
Like more geared towards kids, you'd say? Or careful,
Yeah,
that's negative.
with
We don't wanna
the
upset
we
Rogen.
don't want to upset Seth Rogen. Everybody else that worked on this film,
Yeah.
props to you, Seth Rogen.
Hey, shout out to you, Seth. We're just kidding. We'll see you on next show. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, being produced by Nickelodeon, of course, you know, it's going to have that goofy, like, kids. I understand this is going to be more of a kids thing. There's going to be a lot of adults that go see it because, hey, Ninja Turtles.
Take your kids to it and not be 100% annoyed by what you're seeing. So hopefully not, right?
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. The fact that they'd, like, made April O'Neil into like a Velma parody. Just
I hope that's not going to be it, but yeah, I totally understand that.
I mean,
yeah, and you know, I know
I don't know it.
Yeah.
I think animation style it looks good.
Yeah.
It's definitely marketed to kids. You know, it's to capitalize on that whole like Nickelodeon, you know,
Sure.
SpongeBob market kind of thing. But
Right. Well, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they were like, oh, they did that. We got to do that now.
yeah, I do kind of
it's
like
good.
that like jerky kind of style of animation.
I
Where
tried
it looks
to
like
find it out what the animation style is, and I think it's called half toning. So it's not the same animation studio as Spider-Man had, but
it kind of reminds me of like a flip book.
yeah, in spots, right?
animation,
It kind of
yeah.
speeds up, but then it kind of slows down, and it's
Yeah.
like got lines in it and dots, like Kirby dots. I don't know if this
Yeah.
one does, but Spider-Man did. I do think this is a good project for that type of style. I think it's refreshing. We had a full CG film years ago, TMNT, and that was
That one
pretty
wasn't
good.
bad.
That wasn't bad. No, I thought the trailer. I think it looks interesting. I think it looks fun. I could be wrong.
I think it's going to appeal to
me.
well,
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say to children, but
We're
You
not great
said it, I
kids.
didn't.
That sucked, Dad.
isn't
Shut
that
up.
great, kid?
Bill, wasn't that it? Like, Bill, where you going?
No,
he left.
the length of the chain between the nunchuck should be longer.
Well, they actually use the weapons. That's the big question.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of them gets stabbed in the trailer.
That was kind
there's
of funny. I thought
that was kind of funny.
And then he screams like a little. I mean, yeah, they're still kids, but he's like,
oh man.
well, there's kind of a Red Band trailer. Like that trailer is not like I showed the trailer to my kid, and I think that scene was cut out. They just showed it from like another angle where it was sticking out. of his leg, but it was like dark.
Oh,
So I think they
kind
did
of like
that. I think they did the
thing
kid
you do where
trailer.
You're like, oh, I got a pen in my hand.
Yeah,
Kinda
they didn't actually. I don't think they
that
actually showed it like
perspective.
go into his leg, but I was like, whoa, that's different.
The newer like iterations they've done of the Ninja Turtle cartoons have progressively gotten more and more like. I mean, the first one they did back in the 80s, I was very, very kiddish.
Right, it totally changed from the
But
comics.
They went like somewhat darker and then like started getting progressively more childish.
Sure.
So I'm sure it's going to be a good like summer film to take your kids to.
Yeah.
As a
summer,
as a
basically.
Ninja Turtles like hardcore fan, I'll probably still go see it and take my daughter so I don't just feel weird sitting in a theater with a bunch of kids. But
I'll just take a picture of my kids, put it next to the seat.
I don't know. I really hope it's like.
Is it Rogan? That's kind of
No, it
No,
has
it's not
nothing
that.
to do with. It has nothing to do with
no.
Rogan.
It's just there's just something about it. It's like
It's the fact
I
that
know.
like, okay, I get in like the comics, Baxter Stockman was an African American guy. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's fine. He's supposed to be black. April O'Neil is a
redhead.
white
Yeah,
redhead woman.
right. They're canceling the redheads.
I don't know. I just that bothers me. Like it works.
Yeah,
One way it's progressive, the other way it's well, you shouldn't be mad about that.
it's not. Yeah, and I think a lot of people could say like, "Oh,
I
you're
don't know
against
if
that
she's-
or that," but it's like how it became popular for us. We are really attached to the looks, and I think that goes for the comics too, right? It's
I'm
like
very
iconic look. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm
Redhead
very
April,
attached to the
yellow suit.
characters. I'm very
Yeah.
attached to like the
Yeah.
franchise itself.
Right.
I mean,
They wanna try
that's
that,
not
it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine if they want to try
Yeah,
that. But
as long as it's not like like Velma, right? Yeah,
Yeah, or it's
Don't
just
do
like-
that shit. Yeah,
it's just like, oh, you can't be mad at me because I'm a person of color.
yeah, right.
No,
right.
okay.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what Seth Rogen's doing with this,
No,
but
no.
I just didn't like the April O'Neil thing. Was like the one thing that like I wasn't impressed with, just because it was just kind of like looking down her nose at everybody. I'm better than you, kind of thing.
Well,
And
is
I'm like,
she a kid herself in this? It looks like she doesn't look like an adult to me.
yeah, she kind of looks like a
Kid reporter or something like that.
kid writing a blog for BuzzFeed. I don't
right.
know.
So I don't even know what the angle is to that. I think that one of the new animation shows, she's black as well and younger. So I don't know if that's kind of, they are borrowing a lot from what's been established. And I think the Bay films were, I thought they were entertaining. I didn't like how big the turtles were.
No,
But I do like how they gave Raph a bandana. They gave Donatello glasses. I thought that was interesting, like characteristics of these
yeah, and
turtles.
they've
Something
done
advanced.
that.
Yeah.
They've done that with like different animation
Right.
things they've done for the turtles. Like
What worked? they're
Donatello
using
is like taller and leaner, and Raphael's like
yeah,
bulkier.
yeah,
and
yep.
whatever. I mean, I think
Mikey's
that's
kind
cool.
of a short guy. Is Mikey kind of short?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's cool that they like do that to
Yes.
distinguish them versus just red bandana, orange bandana, blue
Right.
bandana.
Right, exactly. And they did like different skin tones before, and that helps too. But I think that's what worked from the Bay films, and maybe in the animation, I'm sure it's got something to do with it too. But like, it's a new thing to put on these characters and dress them up a little bit.
I don't think like going into this, you should expect like Eastman Laird turtles.
No,
I think you should just expect like Nickelodeon turtles,
sure.
which is what it is. It's a Nickelodeon production, so.
Yeah,
they're going to take some creative liberties with stuff. That's fine.
sure. Raph seems very nice in this. I will say that's
does.
my only nitpick, but they're kids still, so maybe he hasn't gone through puberty
He's not,
yet.
he's not cool but crude. He's awkward but nice.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
there's
know.
a scene where he's talking. I'm like, is that Mike? Because it was very nice. I
like
was
the let's do the ninja stars now. Like
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
busting up the watermelons. I was
but
like,
if they're like younger,
wait a minute,
it makes a little sense, right? Because
yeah,
puberty fucks with you a lot,
yeah,
and grudges begin to form and
yeah.
all that. I don't. Did you happen to notice Splinter had an afro? That bothers me.
I did.
I don't know if that's a good
I
look.
did, but I don't know if it's going to be like
A costume or something, or out of context.
I don't know. We'll have to get the full context. When
Maybe
the
they're
movie comes
channeling
out,
a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from the Bruce Lee movie. I don't know. I'm not against it, but I thought the look for Splinter in the Bay films, Bay produced, by the way, not he didn't direct these. I didn't like this look. He looked kind of gross to me, but from what I've seen, and Jackie Chan playing the voice, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm like, an afro? Like maybe that's just a scene where they had Halloween or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you never
we'll see.
know. From the
It'll
trailer,
probably
you
grow
can't-
on me. It's just another characteristic, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think someday, I really feel someday we're going to get a nice return to form in a way of live action Henson-like creatures with some CG assist. I think someday you're going to have a fan a big fan who's going to be able to direct or write a film and have the say so in doing that. So I think someday we'll get that back. And I still think that's the best they can do. It just felt more real. And of course, with CG now, you can have them do more things, flips and all this stuff, and use the weapons. Like maybe an adaptation to the original comics would even be something kind of cool to like a dark one.
I would very much like to see that. I mean, it would be, I could see that more being something like they'd put on HBO Max or something like that, though.
Yeah. Did you ever see that fan one they did? It was like Raph. April's getting like, someone broke into her apartment. It was very gritty, dark. And I think Raph shows up and just beats the shit out of this guy. And it's just the way they shot it. It's so cool. I'll have to like try to find it. But I mean, that's the beauty of, you know, what fans can do now. I mean, this was probably like over 10 years ago when I saw this thing.
Oh, wow.
But,
Okay.
of course, you got The Last Ronin, which I'm just finding out about. That's a cool storyline.
That is a very cool storyline. I'd love to see that adapted.
Yeah, I'm sure someday we'll get it. I don't know if Nickelodeon's going to do that. Paramount could do that.
Not.
I mean, I think some fans, especially like our age group, want to see maybe a slight darker, like in the tone of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, you know?
Yeah, see, I really like that. And then for the second one, they were like,
Got a little goofy.
we got to make it a little more kid friendly, a little more toy friendly.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
It wasn't that scary, like as scary to me at the time. I enjoyed it, but I did not even realize they didn't use their weapons much. I still love that opening shot of the second film, the live action, that is, the pizza. Oh my God. I'm so hungry right now. That's probably why I'm bringing it up. But man, the cheese and shit, like,
Yeah.
just want to go to New York, just eat pizza.
Right.
Want to see a Broadway show? No, I just want to go take me to pizza places now.
Oh, man.
But no, yeah, we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get pleasantly surprised, but
We'll see.
Rogen as Bebop, do you see that?
I had a hard time accepting Rogan as Donkey Kong,
Yes.
but after like the final trailer came out, I was like, okay, maybe, you know, he can do tremendous voice acting work.
Yeah,
As long as he like keeps
He is
that,
talented. Yeah,
that
right.
stupid fucking goofy ass laugh
Right.
out of there.
Don't repeat yourself so much. Have some range. But
Yeah.
and he does when he's directed to, I think. Very
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's pretty good casting. John Cena's Rocksteady. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think you do anything wrong. I mean, they can manipulate your voice now. Like going back to Super Mario Brothers for a second, I think they manipulated Jack Black's voice a little bit. Maybe he actually did that voice, but I could see them being able to manipulate it now. Just kind of like the guy playing Toad. I forgot his name. Shit. But he's-
Keegan-Michael Key.
yes, I think they might have like kind of done that.
Yeah, like
to it, you know,
kinda
yeah,
lighten it up
little
or
assists. Yeah, and I think they might have done with Donkey Kong, unless they're actually doing that. I don't know. We have to see behind the scenes, I guess, to confirm that or not. But you know, nowadays it's very easy. Like you can go there, but the technology can push you there a little bit further. Because you know,
Yeah.
Bowser, I do kind of hear Jack Black, but if I didn't know he was that voice, I don't think I would have ever thought it was Jack Black behind
Yeah.
that. But of course, you know, look back in the days when we had Joker. I didn't know that was Mark Hamill for a long time, and then it was just like, what?
Yeah.
It's
And it was,
crazy.
like,
You never
perfect. You
expect him to
couldn't-
pull that voice out
You
of him.
couldn't think of anybody else doing that voice. So.
No. We have some game news. Yay! Usually
Yeah.
when Bill's here, we have some game news, but this is exciting to me. Do you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
roll with
so
this?
we got RoboCop Rogue City, new video game coming out. I think it's been pushed back now to September.
Okay.
So they can continue kind of tweaking it. That's kind of been the kind of the norm, I guess, you know, is try to release a complete game versus a game that needs a day one patch kind of thing, which I'm totally for. That's fine with me. We got a trailer for this one. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently this is so this is going to be a first person perspective kind of thing, which I love.
Yeah.
I think that'll be neat to kind of see like get the like heads up display from RoboCop and stuff like that we saw in the movies.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm totally down for that. Not a whole lot to go on yet, but
very limited.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But Peter Weller's coming back to voice RoboCop, so that's
me there.
Yeah. Exactly. And
I love that first
I
scene.
can't wait to see more on it. I mean, obviously as like one of those franchises that we like grew up with, it's going to be super fun to go back and be like, oh yes.
Yeah. It's close as we'll get to another film right now.
Because the closest we ever got was that arcade-ish version of RoboCop for the NES.
Yeah. Well,
like you could,
the first Terminator one, I remember. Was that after? It was RoboCop 3 I had for Super NES, and I had RoboCop vs. Terminator was a huge, cool fan fiction thing. I remember Robo climbing up a ladder in the game was so funny. He's just like, it's like he doesn't move that fast.
Yeah, exactly. But
probably would now.
I think this is great that we're starting to get more and more of these franchises that are. I mean, now that we have the technology to make a good game with it. I mean, like what they did with Spider-Man. They gave us a like an in the Arkham series with Batman. I think this will be great for.
I think Batman set the stage. I think just like he did in the animation. There's so many other games out there that I think they did start developing that could have been really cool. Like Superman, there's a game they've been trying forever, which would have been amazing. But it's just like I guess it's the right timing, the right studio, the right system. Right now, I mean, shit. They just talked about PS6 leaked. I'm like, I ain't even got a 5 yet.
Yeah, it's they finally got to the point where like where the supply has met up with the demand, where like you can now actually find them in stores. Yeah. In some cases, but
because I heard games like this, right? Because it's like, oh shit, should we just like pull back and then make it really, really advanced for this other system? Or
and I was looking up too before we started. I think initially the plan was to do it on current gen and next gen consoles. Now I think it's just going to be on next gen consoles with this one.
Right.
But unfortunately that's the way that it's going to be for a lot of new releases coming out. Like
saves
Spider-Man
money, right?
2
Saves a lot of money too.
I mean, if you're developing it for a PS5 or an Xbox Series 1 or whatever they're calling them now, I don't
Tron
remember.
Legacy.
Yeah. You want to make it to utilize the hardware that's available.
Yeah.
And then if you have to basically take this, diamond of a game and sort of like retrofit it to fit like a previous console, then it's gonna
be hard.
It's not gonna be as good. I don't think you're not gonna get the full experience out of it, but
hopefully the delay will help its success. It looks good. I have a few nitpicks, but again, they could probably tweak things still. Who knows? Peter Weller's voice isn't quite robotic to me, but again, maybe he's gotten an upgrade where he sounds more human. I don't know. He's also older, which I get.
One thing they did in the films too is they kind of put they had his voice and then they put it like kind of through that filter where it kind of like had that,
you're
like,
right. Yes,
kind of warble to it.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
so
because when he took his helmet off, he sounded like himself. Yeah, you're right about that. Like a voice modular or something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, Robo 2 was his voice
when he
got reprogrammed? Maybe right or
it was a little bit more
toned it down.
It's kind of weird because like when he had that scene with his wife and he had the faceplate off.
Yeah,
it sounded like normal.
Yeah.
But then when he is talking to the kids and all that and he has the face mask on, it's like, smoking is for losers or whatever that was that he said.
He was like doing poetry. They just spray painted him. Yeah. I love the knock knock. Like, I hope he wasn't planning to interrogate that guy. I mean, you gotta see the trailer to know, but he basically like pushed the door open and the guy goes flipping over like an overhang to the basement. It's like, yeah, he's dead. Yeah, it doesn't pull any punches. It's not for kids, that's
doesn't.
for sure.
No, I think it's very much going to be an M rating.
His main gun sound effect, I want them to tweak it because it doesn't. But it might be a rights issue too. I don't know because that's all weird. How like maybe they can't use the exact sound. It just didn't have that sound from the film, and I was like, man, if I had that sound, that'd be fun. But man, it just obliterates the target. It's like it's not a hunting gun. No, it looks good. I really hope it's successful, and I hope to own it. So on my PS7, whatever.
Yeah, whenever.
Jesus criminy.
Oh, man.
I mean, well, it is game news, duh. But yeah, I mean, Jesus, like you don't even have a 5 yet, do you?
No, not yet.
Why don't you get a 6 right now? Unless it's going to be like 10 years
I'm saving
out.
up for one.
Jesus.
Right now, but it's kind of like, yeah.
Doesn't that way to like really? Well, it's not official, right? But still, if people get like wind, like, oh, another system's coming, are they going to just keep saving up for the new system, or are they going to wait for?
I don't know.
It's dumb.
I haven't felt like when they announced the PS5 Pro that they were working on.
Yeah.
And this was like a year and a half ago or something like that. I'm like, you guys can't even meet the demand for the original PS5.
Right.
Like, why are you worried about upgrades right now? But
it takes the fun out of it. It used to be like, what, 10 years? Every 10 years you get a new system, kind of? Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like every 3-4 years. I'm like, it just kind of, I don't know.
It's all about in the market too. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, you don't want to stagnate yourself with it too much, but like
it's different now. Yeah.
You also want, I don't know. I think from my perspective, I'd rather they focus on getting the PS5 out there, getting the manufacturing kind of down so that they can maybe reduce the price a little bit.
That'd be nice.
I mean, they haven't reduced the price once since launch, and now they're talking about a new system. So that's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Jesus. Well,
Anyway.
someday I'll get my 5.
Yeah.
Just in time for the next one. But comic news. Usually Steve's, got the comic news here. I found this lately. I'm so excited about this. Steelworks is a series that will be coming out in June 6th, actually. So this is a sequel series to Steel, the character from Reign of Superman back in the day after Superman died, and we were all lost as a society until Superman came back months later. I remember buying all the books. I'm like, I'm gonna retire off these, and I'm not even close. I could probably get a value meal from selling one of them. But yeah, Steel was out of the Reign of Superman they introduced. Steel was a character I really loved. John Henry Irons. He had a great backstory, I thought. He was a construction worker who, I think he fell off a beam or something, and Superman rescued him. And then years later, when Superman died, it affected everyone in different ways, and he decided to, I think he was a veteran, I believe, came back to his neighborhood he grew up in, and it was going to shit. Like a lot of weaponry being sold out there to kids, and it was, it was not shying away from violence. I think what did it was a kid he was close to just got brutally gunned down, and so he decided to take up the mantle of Man of Steel, literally, and he built a steel mechanized suit. I don't think it was mechanized then.
I don't think it was. I think
armor.
It was just like armor.
They changed it over time.
He had didn't he have like rocket boots or something like that in it? So
yes, he did.
Fly?
Yep, and a nice hammer.
Yeah.
Man, great look for a character, and it got so botched when they did the Shaq movie. Oh, it was really painful. No S on the chest, no cape.
Well, they couldn't.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what happened with that. But
I will say Superman and Lois, the show that's on now, entering the 3rd season, they've done that character pretty good justice, live action. But someday I would really appreciate... Maybe James Gunn will do this, make a live action Steel film with a bigger budget. I just want to see that suit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. It's still a great suit, and they've changed it over time, but that original suit is still. I got an action figure of it. Oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, 30th anniversary is coming up for this character, and so Steelworks will be written by none other than Michael Dorn, who played Worf on Star Trek. He's a big geek, apparently. He's one of us. He's one of us. Multi-talented guy. He's a fucking pilot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Flies jets and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was funny because he was critiquing Top Gun Maverick lately. It was funny, like nonchalant. Well, they were asking
movie where
him,
they actually
Yeah.
went into the cockpit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no,
Well, it was only pilot nitpicks he could do.
Yeah,
because
I know.
he knows, but he's talking about the G force.
yeah,
Like it's just like a quick feeling. It's not like a, but you have to see it. It's on Strange is it or Shuttle Pod show. It's really good. But yeah, I'm happy to know he's writing this. I didn't even know he did that. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
He did voice the character in animated movies and shows, I think. So it's really cool. But yeah, this picks up, I guess, time in John's life where he's rekindled a relationship with Lana Lang. I didn't know that. That's kind of lost track of the character over time. I just love the look of him and stuff, and the initial creation of that character. His company Steelworks rebuilds a new metropolis, and then he's thinking of giving up the steel mantle. And I guess a terrorist starts to seek revenge against his company and what they did. So he's kind of, dealing with all that and whether or not to hang up the cape. I don't know if he still has a cape or not at this point. Probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's going to be drawn by Sammy Basri. I don't know what he's done, but I'm excited about this. Were you a fan of Steel?
So I never really followed Superman too much back in the day, but
I just did when he died. That's pretty much it.
Exactly. Like
Sadly,
the death of Superman
that's what
thing.
I cared about.
I started like kind of really reading it around the time of like Doomsday's arrival, and then of course the death of Superman. Then you had the reign of the Supermen.
Yeah.
And I really I would say out of the four, he was my favorite.
Yeah.
I did like Superboy just because he was a cocky asshole, but
nice look, nice 90s look, right?
It was a really like updated look for Superman. I liked it.
Yeah, it was neat. And then the Terminator Superman,
yeah, the cyborg Superman and Eradicator. Yeah. But yeah, I always thought Steel was cool because he was just a normal guy. It was like the world needs a hero.
That would have been I think that's the aspect, right? He's just like one of us. Like we could, figuratively build a steel suit and go to town. But I don't know. Did you see the recent cartoon movie of Reign of Superman? They did.
I didn't. No. I really want to. So I've been getting like all kinds of, mostly like on Facebook and stuff, like the reels and stuff.
Yeah,
they'll show like clips of, like the animated DC stuff.
Sure.
Like, man, I am so far behind on this. I really need to catch up on it.
I'm not even caught up myself.
But like Son of Batman and stuff like that, I need to catch up on a lot of that stuff.
There's a lot out there. Yeah, and they've done pretty good with those films.
DC animation does like leaps and bounds ahead of Marvel.
Right.
Which I guess Marvel hasn't really produced much animation lately, but
right, just the what ifs,
like the
right,
and girly shit that they have on Disney Plus. But no, I'm excited. I think that would be I might actually have to pick this up and kind of
same here.
But yeah, Steel was always, that's why I was so disappointed in that Shaq movie, man. I'm like, God, I love John Henry Irons. Like, he was one of my favorite, like, I'm not a DC guy either. Yeah. He's like one of my favorite characters, but
acting aside, Shaq's persona might have been pretty good, but his acting wasn't great in it, and the budget was low. It was like they didn't really have faith in it, and it was so bad. Siskel and Ebert didn't even review it, I think, because I used to watch them every Sunday, and I was excited to see, like, what'd you guys think of Steel? Didn't have it.
They didn't even bother with it.
Right. So I was like, oh, maybe that's a sign. Yeah.
It was kind of like in the same vein of like
TV movie.
Of like Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like it's based on a DC property, but it's not really a DC movie.
I would say it's better than Catwoman. That's my opinion, but
doesn't take.
Come
much
on,
to
you
be
have
better than Catwoman.
Judd, what's his face from Breakfast Club is the villain. Oh my God! I want to say Apatow. That's not right.
Judd Nelson.
Yes. Jeez. Yeah. Well, because the Reign of Superman, it was such a bigger world, and then the Shaq one was just like so little. There's no mention of Superman really. Nothing.
It wasn't. He took up the mantle because of Superman's death. He was very much like
right
street level, like Hell's Kitchen kind of.
Yeah. he just got out of the military. He made weapons, and then this other guy was stealing those weapons and selling them to like arms dealers. And you know, to be fair, the studio probably maybe wasn't going to allow them to use Superman or even mention them because I think at the time they're trying to develop the Nick Cage film. So it was probably all that crap, you know, like how much do we allow them to use? Let's just not allow them to use anything.
Well, it was just like Catwoman not being Selena Kyle, not mentioning Bruce Wayne, not mentioning Gotham. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't Gotham, right?
So, it was like it was like they could do something just enough with the property to get people butts in the seats, but they couldn't tie it to
I took Joey.
Anything bigger.
You got us.
Oh, jeez.
That was a shit show, man. I was like, man, Sharon Stone really needs work. Jesus. So yeah, getting into unless there's anything else I'm missing you wanted to cover before we get to reviews, recommendations. Okay.
Nope.
Reviews, recommendations. Do you want to start us out?
Mandalorian season 3.
Just premiered, right? Well, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. We're 2 episodes in right now. I'm glad that they're moving away from like the Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not, I mean, Grogu still does the Force kind of thing. You think like he's maybe going to just kind of be Force sensitive versus just a full on Jedi kind of thing. But we're getting to see areas that we have never seen before. We're getting to actually see Mandalore.
Sure.
We got kind of a brief glimpse of a mythosaur, which was just
I've seen
ginormous.
I've seen that screenshot.
I really like what they're doing with the character. Of course, I love Pedro Pascal and I love the Mandalorian, and
he's great.
This is like his redemption arc.
Good.
So this is like so the concept from like Mandalorian 2.5 or Book of Boba Fett, whatever you want to call it. So when they showed him kind of training with the Darksaber, and they asked him if he removed his helmet, he of course said, "Well, yeah, I did."
Yeah.
And by that time, he'd removed it like 3 or 4 times. But
that's my whole thing. Like, maybe you can clarify this, because I did start watching the first episode of this season. I don't understand that whole concept. That seems impossible. You can never remove the helmet for anything, like eating, drinking, getting sick.
So
it's hard to buy into. I'm saying, you know,
it's. I don't know the full lore behind that.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, like, obviously you can see him like kind of lifting it up so he can take a drink of something. Or, like even in the first season when he's in that village, you don't see his face at that time, but you see him put his helmet down so he can eat.
Right.
I think as long as you're like alone and you don't reveal your
it's
face
not
to
public,
anybody,
right? Yeah.
You're fine. But
right.
So his whole thing, he revealed his face to Grogu and to, you know, when he was at that Imperial station,
to everybody.
Like that, to everybody. So his redemption thing, he has to go and bathe in the living waters underneath the Mandalorian mines.
Right.
Which Mandalore has been like glassed by the Empire for years.
Right.
So just kind of like going through his little redemption thing. It's kind of cool to see that. We do briefly go back to Tatooine for a little bit. There is mention of Cara Dune, but they don't actually show her, of course.
Right.
I've heard rumors, I guess, that she's still going to be in it, but it's going to be recast.
Okay.
So it's not going to be Carly, whatever her name is.
Gina
Carano.
Yes, there you go. Yeah,
I was going to say Carla Gugino, but that's totally different.
That sucks because she really shined that last season, but
she did. She was perfect for that role. I really liked her in it. But
right.
Anyway, I think we're 2 episodes in so far. It's pretty. I'm glad that they didn't release like 3 episodes right away.
Yes,
because I think they did that last year or last season.
Oh, did they?
They maybe it wasn't
season 2.
I thought they released like maybe 1 or 2 episodes at first, and then. It was maybe a weekly thing. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good so far. I'm really digging it. And another thing I was going to have on there is like kind of a recommendation. If you're a fan of the show Hot Ones on YouTube, Pedro Pascal just did a interview
Sweet.
on there. And he talks, I mean, of course, he talks about other stuff other than The Mandalorian, but
Right.
it's cool to kind of get that
Yeah.
behind the scenes look and see him suffer through eating hot wings. So
He's on SNL too lately. He did a good job. I thought he did a really
Yeah.
good job. Yeah, he's a funny dude.
he's top show on Disney Plus, top show on HBO Max.
That's
right
right. I still haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
I've seen the first episode.
Okay.
We talked about that on 200, I think,
Right. Yep.
but I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Sure. Yeah, he's on fire. Speaking of fire, I love Hot Ones. The Gordon Ramsay one is the best I've seen.
Gordon Ramsay one is great.
Out of all of them, you would not expect him to be like the weakest. Like, man,
he had like
he was falling apart.
yeah, he was.
He was mad too. He was drinking milk. I mean, not mad at the host, but he was just like, fuck. There's so many F words in that show.
It was the ones I've watched recently, of course, Pedro Pascal, Jenna Ortega did one
Yeah.
not too long ago.
Lenny Kravitz did a good job. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like, it didn't really seem to bother him.
it didn't really.
He did say, I don't know. Did you catch that? Like, was he eating like vegan chicken or something? Because he said this
Some of
isn't
them do
chicken. Okay.
do that. Yeah,
I don't know if
like,
it was a joke or he actually, he doesn't eat chicken.
No,
so
I know
don't
like
know.
Billie Eilish, when she was on there, they had like vegan like nuggets
Okay. Yeah.
or something like that.
Sure.
So yeah, they do change it up.
Right. And that's
for
fine. I
different
just didn't know if I heard that right or if he was just joking. But
Yeah,
They
but
look-
it's a good show. I think it's
Yeah.
on. I forget the name of the channel. It's not called Hot Ones. It's
I know what you're talking about.
First We Feast, I think.
yes,
is what the channel
you're right.
is.
Yep.
But yeah,
They
go
do
check
other
that out.
things.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Star Trek Picard season 3. Those of you familiar with the channel know that Steve and I have been putting out our reaction logs to each episode. Loving it so far. It's great return to form. I think you should all see it. It's on Paramount Plus. They have the first episode on YouTube for free. I know that. So definitely check that out. Check out that first episode. It might take some of you more time to really like it. Especially if you didn't like the first 2 seasons of Picard, like myself. But I follow a lot of people that were pretty harsh with the Trek that we got before, and they loved this season. So that's kind of helped me go into it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. We're 4 episodes in, loving it. It's fun, it's great, and it's good water cooler talk, especially amongst like YouTubers. If you don't have a lot of people around you that watch the show, at least you have, you can tune into YouTubers such as, Steve and myself. Eventually we'll have a Star Trek mission report out there. Those are like done once a year, I swear. But these, reactions are, I think, more helpful for that type of content. So I will be dropping a episode 4 reaction very soon. But yeah, great show. You should go check it out. What's good about these streaming services is you don't have to, most people know this, you don't have to sign a contract. If you just go on, maybe wait for it to drop and then sign up for a month and just binge it. But I hope that this gets received well enough. We get more. The showrunner, Terry Matalas, is fantastic. He's a true Star Trek fan, and he's done a lot of good in this season, and a lot of people want him to continue on show running, more Trek from him. So there's like even a petition which I signed, and I did share it on our mission report Facebook page. So yeah, if you have time, check out the show and sign that petition. It's good stuff right now. You're getting to see the next generation legacy characters in a new light, and it's good. Like, they're getting to do things that they maybe have not been able to do before, or kind of more of the same, but it's great to see them again, in their parts. So, we have just scratched the surface on what's to come for this season. So it's great so far. And there's a great new character people are really digging, Captain Shaw. It's awesome. It's good stuff. So highly recommend that. Also, Chris Rock, Selective Outrage, that just came out last Saturday on Netflix. The first live event they had, I believe. Great. I thought it was a great stand-up special. Everyone was, of course, waiting for, Rock to talk about the Smith incident, which, as we're recording, tonight's the Oscars. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, man.
I forgot about that.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be some jokes about it, but yes, I thought Chris Rock did a pretty good job on his take and making it humorous. And I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm not a big Jada Smith fan. I've said that before.
I'm not either.
I think she's poison.
Actress wise, like,
yeah, I think she's. I mean, yeah, I think she's
as a
talented,
person, I think
but-
there's a lot going
Yeah.
on. I discussed that. I think when we were talking about the slap heard around the world.
Yeah.
But
Well, I will say one thing. Rock does say that she hurt him worse than he could have hurt Rock. You know, and I think that's true. Like, I think there's a lot of going on in Smith's head that night, and yeah, it just sucks because he finally table was set for Smith to finally get his Oscar. This is like the peak of his career, and he just destroyed him. You know, just destroyed the moment and robbed it for other winners because there's still people getting awards before he got his. It's a really messed up night.
Yeah.
But that aside, watch the special. It's been edited now a little bit. Rock did botch a joke, and I get why they edited it. There's some like outrage right now about it, selective outrage, if you will. It's no big deal. They didn't really. It was a live event, and he did great. I think this is his first live special. His HBO specials back in the day, I think, were already taped.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal, and I think he did a great job. And he's got some cool stories. I mean, it's good stuff. I love Chris Rock. I think he's hilarious, and I'm happy he's recovered well enough. And there's a lot of people, of course, now wanting Smith's opinions, Will and Jada's, and I don't know how much of it's true or not, but I think Jada said he was obsessed or something, and other critics are saying let this go. But you got to understand, Rock has never really said anything publicly about this. The Smiths have had all the time in the world, and they've used it for the red table, and Will has even put out a video like, I'm here when you want me, and you know, let Chris is the one that got attacked. Let him speak the piece, you know, say his piece, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. And I think he did a good job. He didn't go too far, I don't think, but definitely check it out when you can. It's funny. It's really funny. Plugs before we head out. Start us out.
Yeah. So Billy Creston Gaming on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Billy Creston Gaming or at Billy Creston on YouTube. Yeah, not a whole lot on there right now. I am working on editing a couple videos, or recorded a couple videos this week. Not with just personal stuff going on, you know. I don't feel like that's my best work, so I'm being overly critical on myself right now. But we just finished up the 30 hours of gaming kind of live streams I was doing there for a little over a week. Had some good success with that, so
Great.
we're gonna get back into it.
Right. That was great. Raising money for what you did, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So yeah, I hope you keep doing that in the future, for sure.
Live streams maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But I like I think we were talking about this before we started recording. I kind of like the safety of a recording because then I can go and edit and make myself look better.
Right.
But,
same here.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a while before I do another live stream, but I'm hoping to do maybe some more in the future. We'll see.
Sure. You know what? You could just produce the videos and launch them live. That's what you do. That's what you need to do.
There we go.
Man, he's really good. Just even put a live down there with the software.
Yeah. It's like a little blinking light. It says record.
And just make up shit like, oh, I see a lot of people in the comments like, yeah. Where'd I get this shirt?
You know, so funny that you bring that up. It's actually kind of a morbid story, but there's a guy that actually like murdered his wife.
Oh my God.
But so as an alibi, he pre-recorded like 6 hours of footage and then ran it live.
Oh shit.
And he was like, sorry guys, I can't see your comments if you're typing to me. My internet is not working great.
Wow.
The entire time this was going live, he was
holy shit.
butchering his ex-wife.
Is this recent?
Something. No, this is I don't remember how.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look this up.
This was like one of them true crime things I was listening to when I was at work one day. But it's funny that you mentioned that. That just made me think of that. Really morbid segue. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna jot that down.
Yeah. Ideas for alibis. Oh wait, I gotta write this in here with the invisible ink so you guys can't see it.
Oh man, it's funny. Yeah. Of course, Field of Geeks. Everywhere you find your podcast, YouTube, fieldofgeeks.com. We have, of course, Facebook page, Twitter, all that cool stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have for this episode.
Raven Xavier.
Oh, of course.
Go check out the RaveX podcast on YouTube.
Yes.
It's also got some music on there. Got some live stuff for Choose Your Power, which is just a tremendous band. You should all go check it out.
Yeah.
I even had a conversation with him on Facebook a little while ago. I was like, I'm going to be the first guy from Field of Geeks to make a road trip and go see you guys live, but
that's okay. Representation.
We'll see. We'll see how that happens. Luckily, I have a Prius, so maybe I'll make it that way, and it won't.
There you go.
And it won't be that bad,
right?
But no, he just did a really good podcast. He does some really good topics and stuff like that.
He does.
The latest one, I want to say, what was it, like heartbreaking scenes in movies?
Yes.
So that was a really good one. Go check that out. And of course, he did our awesome intro theme and
yes,
does a lot of good work. So go check him out.
Yeah, he's a true fan of the show. And of course, Xavier, listening, thanks for commenting all the time when we post something on Facebook, and just everyone out there commenting. It's great stuff. And yeah, we'll have him on sometime. More to come on that. That's in the book here. So
yes,
the big book.
It's in the Book of Secrets.
Yes. With that said, we'll be back. I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
Take care.
See ya.